The president claimed millions of Americans will benefit from high quality and affordable health care.
Many of these options are already reducing the cost of health insurance premiums by up to 60%.
The president also says that the Republican plans will cover pre-existing conditions. President Trump says there's no doubt Iran was behind the attack on 2 tankers in the Gulf of Oman. Now, the Iranians are denying the reports that they're behind anything, but the U.S. military has released a video that appears to be showing an Iranian Navy boat removing an unexploded mine from a Japanese-owned tanker. Republican Senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, reminds us of why all this is happening.
We put the Ayatollah in a box. We got out of the Iran agreement. We put sanctions on Iran. We're breaking the economy of Iran. We're breaking their back economically, and they're fighting back, pushing back, trying to break our will.
This is USA Radio News.
Summer is just about here, and you know you're trying to get in shape. There's nothing more key to getting in shape and recovering from your workouts than getting deep restorative sleep. And the best way to get it is with MyPillow. Now, the offer we have right now is one of the best you've ever seen. When you go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, type in promo code USA, you'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for just $69.98, $34.99 per pillow, the lowest price ever offered on radio or TV, and better than you'll find in almost any store. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special to get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for $34.95 per pillow, the lowest price ever offered. Go to MyPillow.com, enter promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175 to get this great offer, a great night's sleep just in time for summer with MyPillow.
President Trump is standing by his comments regarding a hypothetical question that was posed to the president regarding accepting dirt on political opponents from a foreign source. The president tells Fox News he would have to know what the dirt was before he could report it to the proper authorities. The Empire State's ending religious exemptions from vaccinations. USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes explains.
New York's state legislature voting to remove all non-medical exemptions for immunizations, a measure that was passed by both the Assembly and Senate and was quickly signed into law by the Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo. The move comes as New York continues to grapple with one of the biggest measles outbreaks in decades. Most of the confirmed cases have been found in Orthodox Jewish communities in New York's Rockland County and Brooklyn. Opponents of the measure protested in Albany ahead of the vote. They're vowing to challenge the new law in court.
A parade is being held to honor the NBA champion Toronto Raptors Monday in downtown Toronto. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
2 years ago on Friday, House Minority Whip Republican Steve Scalise from Louisiana suffered a life-threatening wound when a gunman opened fire during a practice for the congressional baseball game. His book, Back in the Game, tells the story of the shooting and is now available in paperback. Scalise also joined CBS This Morning and talks about the main message in the book.
The book's about really the heroes and the miracles that all were at place that day 2 years ago on that baseball field. The heroes that saved my life and everybody on the ball field, David Bailey and Crystal Griner, the 2 Capitol police officers, so many other police officers that were there that day, people like Brad Wenstrup, heroes that saved our lives, but also the miracles that really kept people from making it through that day. In terms of forgiveness, Michelle, this has been something I've struggled with as a Catholic. Because I do want to get to a point where I can truly forgive the shooter. I've talked to a lot of people. In fact, it was in Opelousas, Louisiana, one of the churches that was burned down just a few weeks ago, historically black church that was targeted and burned down, one of 3 that was. And I met with the pastor, one of those churches, the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, and Reverend Tucson. He talked to me about forgiveness. And he said the first thing he did when he found out who the arsonist was that burned his church down was that he forgave him. And it was powerful to me. And I talked to him about it, and we're going to talk some more. I'd hope to get there.
Follow us on Facebook at USA Radio. And for USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
It's 8:05. She's crude, often misconstrued, and is actually a dude. Welcome to Life's a Drag. Say hi to New Hampshire's 2018 Entertainer of the Year. Your hostess with the mostest, Monique Too Soon.
Hi, you're listening to Life's a Drag. My name is Monique Too Soon, and I am here tonight with my two good Judy co-hosts, Miss Caitlin Slawinski and Patty Hurley.
Hello.
And tonight we are joined by the absolutely stunning Miss Ivy League.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, Ivy.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. I would have been here about a month ago, but somebody doesn't know how to plan things.
I know.
I'm horrible with the calendar.
I know.
But actually, it works out usually most weeks because when we don't have a guest, we end up having like intern Joe, who we just love having on the radio.
That's true. He's a good addition.
Yeah, and Caitlin shows up usually 5 minutes before the show's over.
Yeah. Well,
like last week.
I know. That was a weird episode because I felt like the whole time we were talking on your couch and I just kind of forgot we were on the radio a few times.
Yeah. So this week, we had a good week and we're going to talk about that. But right now I would like to just quickly touch base on Pride. Tickets are so low right now. Like I can smell a sellout tonight. And it smells great. It smells like I can stop advertising Pride and
I had
start
so many
advertising.
inappropriate jokes ready in my head to go.
I know. I can
Unfortunately,
feel
this
them.
is a PG show.
Exactly.
It's PG-13.
Really?
It
I don't know
is.
if that would fly.
I don't know many 14-year-olds who are listening right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do.
Do you?
Glows kids.
Oh, yeah.
They
They
don't
do listen.
count.
Yeah, they do.
No,
How
because dare you, Ivy?
They don't count because their moms are making them watch it.
No,
No.
they love it. They actually.
I think
they're-
Dee really likes that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know Glow's daughter actually loves me. We're
Well,
dating.
Guinevere?
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
19, right? No, she's not. I don't think she's old enough to date.
No,
yet.
she's just going into high school.
No, she isn't.
I would like you to not to yell at me like that.
You guys have been friends for how long and you're still waiting for her to stop yelling at you?
Yeah, I know.
I know. She never calls me a her, so thank you for that.
Well, you're in drag, so that's the rule.
It's
I
hard.
know.
It's difficult. I apologize.
Yeah, every week that I'm not in drag, she calls me a girl, but when I'm in drag, she calls me a he.
I actually call you both all
Patty's
day
just
long.
confused constantly.
I'm a very confused woman.
She is. So Pride tickets, like I said, they're very low. www.moniquetoosoon.com. We have an all-star lineup. We have Jessica Wilde from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 2. She's a scandalo and loves this drink. And then we have Chastity Marie, who is coming all the way from Cincinnati. And she is like an Instagram and Facebook diva, fashion forward. And she is a seller. Like she is going to sell everything she is wearing that night. And then we have my co-host, Patty.
Yay.
We have Ivy League.
Woot woot.
We have Lady Sabrina. We have Mia, Easy Lay, Anaya Bangcox, Nicole De La Fontaine. And I think that's it.
That's it.
And that's going to be enough.
That's going to be plenty. It's going to be a great show. I can't
And
wait.
yeah, all of us except for Nicole, Jessica, and Chastity will be doing the daytime show at Actual Pride, which is from 2 to 5. And it starts, I think it's at the Elm Street School.
Mhm.
And then it goes all the way to the National Public Library, which is where their parking lot next to it is going to be the stomping grounds this year from 2 to 5. So,
so we have a new route this year.
yep.
Oh, that's very cool.
And we have a new stage. It won't have a runway this year, but it's a nice stage. And hopefully the sound system is supposed to be louder.
I love loud.
Yeah. So we're going to have, because last year we couldn't hear our music at the end of the runway.
Well, my trick when I'm on stage is that I like the music to be so loud that I can still be singing underneath it. So it actually, you can tell that I know the words, but I don't want to hear myself because that's just upsetting.
Yeah, we don't want to hear you either.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I did
We
win
barely
that
wanna
solo
see
talent
you.
hearing myself. So
Yeah.
I also think there's a lot more shade over by the library,
Which is
so
good.
it will be much better
Yeah,
for you,
hopefully
for
it's
you this
not.
year.
Well, Monique's
120.
there. There's plenty of shade.
Yeah, I'll be dropping shade all day. Actually, I'll be hiding if there's protesters because those guys are they're attacking us again.
I know.
We are being ripped apart in a group,
Mhm.
but guess what? This year we have supporters.
Actually, the supporters heavily outweighed. There was like 3
Negative.
negative people, and everyone else. Not only were there some people who were giving it back in kind of a mean way, and I secretly enjoyed that. But there were a lot of people who very intelligently had decent conversations, decent comebacks that were well thought out, and you could tell that they were just regular people, and they kept saying, "Stop! Like this is
And-
an obsession for you.
and
Just
some of
leave
these-
it alone."
Yeah, and some of these people aren't even supporters, and they're
Right.
like, you know what? Get over it. It's not affecting you if you don't go.
Oh, there was absolutely a few people that said, you know what, this isn't my thing, but
Who cares?
who cares? Don't go. You're not the watchdog of New Hampshire. You don't get a say in what other parents do.
Right.
I think my favorite thing about all of the comments that were on that group, because we've obviously talked about it at length, is so many of the people that are in there say that the argument is that, oh, this is a mockery of women. Well, I'm a transgendered performer, so I live as a woman, and you got to stop taking it so seriously. Drag is all kind of a joke. It's a commentary on society, and there are bio queens that are women who perform in drag and hyperfemme. So the argument just doesn't stand. It's just a way for them to try and get their poorly thought out point.
Correct. Their poorly thought out point is mostly about the sexualization of it, and which clearly shows they don't really know anything about it, because it really is about performing and about art and about fun and entertaining.
And they seem to forget that the daytime show, we're really well aware that it's kid friendly. It's not like we're going to show up at the kid friendly show in a thong.
No, that's why the adult show at night is 21 plus.
Right. So
and no one did anything sexual with the Disney theme songs last year.
No,
hey, don't judge my
on.
Disney song. I loved that Ursula costume.
I love them all, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that that's ridiculous.
No, they were
It's
shredding
so-
Mia for wearing a short skirt and having cleavage, and Sabrina. But guess what? Real women have cleavage too, and it's actually real cleavage.
Mhm.
Our cleavage is duct tape.
Well, speak for
Blush.
yourself.
Well, most of our cleavage. Mine's fat.
It's all that like post dad weight.
No, it's current dad weight, and it's continuing because when you have a kid, it's like everything in the house is like snack, Slim Jim, snack.
I don't have to
Alcohol.
have kids for that. The alcohol with or without kids either way, but I don't have to have kids for snacks. I would, if they still made those Dunkaroo packs, I would have those in my cabinet all the time.
I have a recipe to make it.
So
I
you're
made
gonna
it
send
for
it to me.
I made it for my son's third birthday party, and everyone was going
They
crazy
were
for it.
absolutely delicious.
so good.
Yeah, it's like it's yogurt, like sour cream. It's so many weird things mixed together, and then like whipped cream and then funfetti cake mix.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a weird combo, but it was perfect. I'll find it for you and I'll send it to you. So, the Dominican, we talked about the Dominican deaths last week, and the deaths have risen this week.
They just keep coming.
Yeah, another girl died 5 days ago
Mhm.
in the Dominican with strange minibar circumstances, and they still have no clue, obviously. I thought they were supposed to find out today the autopsy results from the first few people that had died, the husband and wife and the other girl.
They were supposed to find out today. I haven't seen anything about it.
I haven't seen any updates.
No.
And then we also found out, which is super juicy, that the lady from Shark Tank, the blonde one, I don't know her name. I can't remember what it is.
I can't remember.
Oh,
either.
you know what? It's going to come to me in like a minute because I can just see Katya dressed up as her.
Yeah, say it as soon as it comes up. But this woman, her brother died in the Dominican recently of a heart
This week?
attack. No, it wasn't.
Susie
Was it
Orman.
this week? Susie Orman. Was it this week?
No, that's not Susie Orman.
No,
No?
not
on
the one
Shark
from
Tank.
Shark Tank.
Susie Orman is the money woman on the radio and on TV. The
Oh,
Shark Tank
yeah, yeah.
woman is like a real estate mogul.
Yeah, she's got really short blonde.
Why did I think that was
It's
Susie
like
Orman?
gray.
She kind of
blonde,
looks like
light
Ellen.
blonde.
She's not.
Yeah.
I know who Susie Orman is. It's not
Barbara?
Susie Orman. Barbara. Barbara something. I don't know her last name.
Barbara Shark Tank.
Barbara Shark Tank. But her brother died. It wasn't this week, was it?
No, I think it was because
Oh.
it was all over the news.
Yeah, he was out celebrating his like birthday or retirement or something in the Dominican, and he died in his sleep of a heart attack too.
Barbara Cochran.
Barbara Cochran.
Hey.
Yeah. And that's what happened. And now there's a celebrity involved, and now this is gonna blow up.
I think so. Yeah. Something strange is happening down there.
We have been to the Dominican, and I will say we did feel slightly unsafe on the island.
Not slightly, very.
And we had a machine gun guy that was like 13 years old sitting on our front steps at night protecting us. And we were like, I don't really feel comfortable with this.
Oh my God. And I thought Baltimore was bad.
Oh,
No,
I've
we
never
drove
been
up to
there.
the house from the airport. We had 2 cars. We rented 2 cars, and we drove up to the house from the airport. And I was like, "This can't be it." The house was a castle. It was beautiful, and out front there was a guy with an automatic weapon.
And we're like, oh, we're
and
dying.
and I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is how it ends." And the house manager was like, "So you'll have an armed guard here 24 hours a day." And I was like, "Why?" Because I'm that naive.
And we were so nice. We
ridiculous.
gave him beer and pizza.
Because what you need is a drunk man holding
I
an
was
automatic
just thinking
weapon.
that, but okay.
Well, and the other thing about the Dominican that really surprised me about like that was different from other islands too is there is nothing off the resorts. And we did not stay on a resort in the Dominican,
No.
and we had nowhere to eat. We had one restaurant that I think we ate at that whole week, right? And one breakfast place.
It was the place
Because there was nothing and there was no places
Mm.
to shop. Like I used to love shopping, and there was nowhere to go shopping without being in an unsafe territory.
Correct.
And it's one of those islands where they want someone escorting you, and
It doesn't sound like the resorts are that safe anymore.
yeah, I would never go there again.
Mm-mm.
Not-
I wouldn't go
not
there
a big
again
fan.
anyway, even without all this news. But
Yeah, I definitely won't drink from a mini bar in a hotel room for a while.
I wouldn't anyway because I'm cheap and I don't want to spend $12 for a nip.
I think it's all inclusive.
it depends on how much I need that nip.
Yeah,
right?
I think on all inclusive resorts the mini bars are free in the rooms too. So the nips are free.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
then
know.
yes, I would have the nip.
I wouldn't know, but the most
I would have
inclusive
all the
vacations.
nips.
The most inclusive vacations I do are Disney World, so really they're not serving a bunch of alcohol in your rooms.
No,
Oh,
they should
that's
be though
unfor-
at Disney World of all places.
Well, the place they really need it is Magic Kingdom, and that's the only place they don't serve it. But that's the place that I have to deal with children the most.
Yeah, you know, you just sneak them in.
Yeah,
Do they
that'll
check
go
your
wrong.
purse?
Yes.
I haven't been to Disney in so long. Last time I went was with Anita, my mom,
Oh, I've never been.
and that was interesting.
Yeah.
You've never been. You have a son.
I know he hates rides and he hates amusement parks.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Disney World is my favorite place. We're going in March.
The only place I think I would bring him is Wild Kingdom because
Animal
he
Kingdom.
loves Animal
Anim-
Kingdom. He loves
Animal Kingdom is
Animals.
actually one of my favorites. I love going there solely, especially at night, because now they offer a night safari, which is even cooler because you can do the night vision goggles and it's
Mhm.
not 8,000 degrees, so all the animals are walking around.
I lived in Florida for like a
Oh.
3-month span, and then I got sick of it and moved back. But while I was there, I was dating somebody that worked for Emeralds, which is, I think it was in Universal, but he got passes to all the parks, unlimited. So we would go to like every single park all day, every day. And then I just got sick of it because I'd been on everything like every single day of the week. But it was really cool. Animal Kingdom was my favorite.
Yeah, I think I would like that, but I don't know how long you could stay there and not get bored. Like, is there something to do every day?
Yeah.
I would say, especially at Connor's age, I would say do Animal Kingdom and Epcot, because like Epcot, there's so much to do. You can eat around the world. If you're Monique, you can drink around the world.
Mhm.
You can
Yeah,
drink
see,
in your hotel
He,
prior.
he doesn't
You
even
can do
like
that
going
too.
out to restaurants. Like,
No?
no,
What does he like to do?
Nothing.
nothing.
Video
No.
games.
He likes to hang out with his friends. He likes to not hang out with me.
He's at that
seems-
fun age.
Yes, he'll be 16 next month.
Oh
So
my God, how did he get that old? We didn't
I
get that
don't.
old.
I don't know. I didn't write him a permission slip. I want him to be 5 again.
No.
He's just so cute.
You can
Oh.
borrow my 3-year-old.
Evidently, so does that fire truck.
So aside from the Dominican, that was our update for the week. And as soon as we get autopsy results, I have an alert set up so that my phone will go because I'm dying to know if it was like arsenic, because there is a medical examiner that thinks that there might be a disgruntled employee running around putting arsenic on glasses.
Wow.
So and remember how they found someone, this was supposedly unrelated, but maybe it is now, the woman that was beaten severely and
Mhm.
thrown inside like a vent.
a little like cement hole.
Yeah, and left there to die. And a maid found her like 8 hours after she was thrown in there. She was beaten like to smithereens, like almost died in this hole in the Dominican.
Oh, well, thank God they found her though.
Yeah, and this was like not even a month ago.
No, this is just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So word of advice, from my mouth to yours, from my mouth to your ears. No, we're not making out. Don't go to the Dominican for a little while.
Let it just all die down.
Yeah. I love this drink.
Fun story about Jessica Wilde, since you just mentioned that same I love this drink thing. A couple of years ago, it was me, Nicole, and Brittany, and we were out in Boston at I want to say the House of Blues. We were with Jessica Wilde. It was either there or Jacques, I can't remember. She took us to the seediest Chinese food restaurant at about 4 a.m, and she was so excited. Mind you, all 3 of them have been drinking. I'm the only sober one in full drag. They're all out without all of that on, and there are all of these like creepy people just hanging around looking like they're gonna jump you. And she was saying every time that she took a sip, I love this drink. And I was just dying.
I can't wait to see her again. She's coming in on Friday, the day before Pride, and her and Chastity Marie are actually doing the radio show.
Ooh,
Yeah,
very
so
special
they'll both
guest.
be on that Friday night.
The
So
28th. Yep.
yep, and then the next day they'll be at Pride, and I'm so excited to meet Chastity Marie too. Chastity Marie is a love. One of the sweetest people. She actually works with another Drag Race girl whose name was Penetration.
Oh, I loved Penny.
Yeah, she works with Penetration in Cincinnati, Ohio. So, and Chastity's being booked all over the place right now. I have a feeling she's gonna end up on the Drag Race at some point.
Isn't Nina West from Ohio too?
Nina West is. You know what's funny is I don't want to get too far into details, but I tried to book her again, and of course she's not available for the date I went for.
Well, I would imagine she just won Miss Congeniality, so I'm sure she's everywhere.
Yeah, and she hasn't upped her prices since the show finished. So the first time I got her quote was halfway through the season. Actually, I got her quote the day it started when she made a mess of herself on the show. And the quote hasn't changed since the show ended. Usually they explode after the show ends. So for her to keep that rate is really, I think, genuine of her. It's there's like other Drag Race girls out there too, like Raven. She never raises her rate because she knows she's not a dancer. She's there. She's just a personality, and she knows that. And she knows that she's going to work the stage, but she's not going to dance the crap out of it. And she's not going to charge $5,000 to do that. Because some of these girls like that don't even do anything. I'm not going to give any names, but the girl who did Rent this year, she's not a great performer.
Doesn't say names and make a joke. And let's just
Valentina.
let's point out, did Rent and also didn't sing live. So there's that. Why are you going to do a live singing show when you're not singing live?
Right. But she's very strict about her booking fee, and she charges, I think she's up to like $6,500. But when you would watch the videos of her performing outside of Drag Race, she would do that one slow song for like, it's like the Mexican anthem or something.
Yeah, she did a
And
ballad.
she doesn't even move. She stands there and just looks pretty, and people throw money at her. And I'm like,
Oh God!
what am I doing wrong?
Imagine having that problem.
But I would not pay $5,000 to a performer to stand in one place.
No, but I think that
Like,
I
I
think
want to see drag.
I'm gonna assume that the shelf life of a drag queen isn't 20 years.
Not on Drag Race, unless
So-
you make it like one of the 10 people that have made it far.
So
Yeah.
they probably want to make as much as they can for as long as they can. So
There's
if they have the if people will pay it,
Right.
they probably will raise the
You got to
price.
bank on it. As soon as you get off the show, you got to take every opportunity. You have to be good to every opportunity that takes you.
Right.
Because the second you shade someone, you're not getting booked there again. And you're going to be insignificant as soon as a new cast of girls is
Well,
announced.
and I would think that the industry talks. So if you shade somebody,
Oh,
people
God,
are
all
going
the
to find
time.
out.
I don't know if you guys listen to Willem and Alaska have a podcast called Race Chaser. And Willem has no problem talking about queens who have done something awful or they were rude to someone. And
Oh, that's weird coming from Willem.
But so I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to keep moving
I'll
on.
tell that story in a minute.
But so the first thing she's always said too is that if you're not nice, no one wants to book you. And that's true. You know, we've worked with queens before that if you get a bad vibe from them, you don't want to work with them again. You don't book them.
No.
We're all people. I mean,
There's a lot
yes,
of
I
local
live sing.
queens we don't book for that same reason because
Yeah.
they think they're more than they are.
And it's one of those things like, yes, I'm a live singer, so I will do live singing. But in essence, most drag performers, you're lip syncing the words to somebody else's song. You're really not as big of a celebrity as you are. We're in a phenomenon right now with RuPaul's Drag Race where we're seeing drag be brought into the mainstream. So of course they have that sense of celebrity, and more power to you. I mean, I praise anyone who can get on the show because it's more money to you. If I could get on, I would. I mean, that's not going to happen because we know that RuPaul's not going to book a trans girl on the show
Intentionally.
intentionally. And for anybody who disagrees on the live feed today, I'd like you to do a little more research because I know I'm not going to get on. It's not realistic.
The only one that has gotten on that has been kind of out of a tranny, that's a bad word now, isn't it?
Well, so we'll talk about that really quick. I don't mind the word. In fact, it's one of my favorite words of 3 words, but I can't say the other 2 on live. So I don't mind the word tranny. It really is just an abbreviation of the word transgendered. So you can say trans, tranny. I know some people are bothered by it, so I purposely go out of my way around certain people not to do it, or I'll ask them. But I mean,
And I know anything with you is like not taboo at all. Like you're
No.
you're thick skinned, and we can say horrible things to you, and you just laugh them off and
and I'll
make
throw
fun
them
of
right
us right
back.
back. Yeah, exactly. And I got really upset when like that word became like a bad word because I kind of think it's a cute word. Like I don't find it disgraceful. I think it's kind of cute and kind of funny. And
I think unfortunately some people used it in a very derogatory
well,
way.
I think they're trying to
And-
say that RuPaul did that.
Oh,
Well,
I was talking more about like homophobic, horrible people.
Yeah.
well, you're always going to have those people. A lot of it just comes down to intent. It's the same word with the other F word inside of the gay community that I'm not going to say because I know certain people are going to be
We all know
offended
what
by
the
it.
F word is. Yeah.
So it's the same thing with that. It's used in a derogatory word, in a derogatory term, but we all run around and call each other that. Like, we don't care.
Oh, absolutely.
My biggest complaint are the people who try to compare that word and tranny to using the N word because they're not even in the same realm of
One's
idea.
racial discrimination,
Exactly.
one's stereotypical discrimination, and
But trying to compare them to the N word, that has centuries of cultural discrimination
Right.
and putting other people down. It's not even in the same ballpark. So I think certain people take it a little too serious with those things, like, especially if it's inside of our own community. Take things a little less serious. This is all a joke. Life is very short.
Right. And if you're going to be offended by everything, then go live in a shed in the woods and don't have internet.
Honestly.
Seriously.
Wow, that's the only option?
Yeah. Like, well, everyone is so easily offended
I know.
by every word out there. You can't even have a conversation with people anymore. Someone's offended by something you're posting on Facebook, and it's just horrible.
You kind of have to edit everything you're saying on Facebook too, especially like in our position where we are kind of, I guess, public figures inside of this area. I have to monitor everything I post, whether it's because I'm representing a brand or because I want to keep working in the field. I do have to monitor everything that I say and that goes out, and I second guess myself a lot, going, ooh, that seems a little abrasive. Is that going to set someone off? Am I about to get a million messages telling me that I'm the worst person on the planet?
I get them all the time.
Well, because you are the worst person on the planet.
And I don't mind setting.
Amen.
I think that's why.
Amen.
I think that's why I'm a little different than some of the drag queens around here. I don't care if I offend anybody, and
You
I
are
really
a different creature.
and I honestly, I'm going to stand my ground. I don't care. I'm going to stand behind what I said, or unless I was drunk and made a big boo boo.
Yeah, but you definitely own
have
up
a
to
list.
those when you do
I have
that.
a list.
You own up to them when you do them, though.
So I do want to tell my Willem story, because Willem is not the nicest performer in the whole world. For him to be talking trash about other drag queens, Willem came to the 313 with Detox, who was also on Drag Race, who is one of my favorite people on earth. Love her. She's crazy. She put her scrotum on Ivy's muffin at breakfast.
Genitals. Okay, so we're going to stop real quick and pause to talk about this, because people are going to ask me what exactly you're talking about. At the 313, rest in peace, we missed that club. I miss being there every week. They had a short-lived restaurant in the disco room that would open after the club closed.
They had breakfast.
They served breakfast, which was great because most of us were hungover and drunk, and we just wanted to eat something before we took a cab home. And I lived down the street, and I still took a cab home. And I was broke that night. It was rough for tips because we had Detox there. So of course,
Drag Race girls always took tips from us, not purposely.
not purposely, but people
But yeah.
would tip them because they're celebrities, they're TV royalty, and tips were rough that night. And so I was broke, and I did not want to spend a bunch of money on food. So I bought a muffin, and
A blueberry muffin.
a blueberry
right?
muffin. Yes, a blueberry muffin. And I do it all the time. I took the top off and put it down, and I ate the bottom part first because everybody knows that the muffin top is the best part of the muffin.
Top
Yes.
is the best part.
It's the best part of the muffin.
You can buy just muffin tops at Hannaford.
Can you really?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
Oh my god, I gotta go, guys.
In the
Yeah,
bakery
we
section.
have to go right now, Patty.
Right now.
Yeah, they're in the bakery section.
So I'd taken the top off and put it down. I had just finished eating the bottom part, and Detox comes over, picks it up, unzips her jumpsuit where she's apparently not wearing underwear underneath, takes out her genitalia and places it on top of my muffin, smiles at me, and then hands it to me. Now, looking back on it, I can laugh at it and go, I probably should have just ate it and looked at her while I was doing it. But at the time, I was like, that was my
Oh.
only food.
But the good
No.
news is she did buy everyone's breakfast in the whole club that night.
I know I should have ordered a full meal because I could have gone
Yeah,
free.
she took care of the whole breakfast tab for every
Oh,
single
that's
person in the
nice.
room.
Did she plop herself in everyone's
She
food?
not on their
she-
food, it was mostly on their shoulders.
Oh,
Yeah, she
good,
was putting
good,
them
good.
on everyone. She was a mess. She was one of my favorites though, because she's like me. She's a mess when she drinks, and I love that.
So back to your Willem
Yeah,
story.
so Willem was in the dressing room with me, and Detox wasn't in there at the time, and Willem was zipping up like this bodysuit or something, and he goes, "Can you zip this?" Well, I went to go zip it, and it burst, like in the back, like the stitching all came undone around the zipper, and he flipped his crap on me, yelled at me, and was so rude to me, like I almost started crying because I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." I felt horrible. Like I wouldn't want to rip any one of my friends' costumes, never mind somebody who's being paid thousands of dollars to be in my club right now.
Right.
And he's like, flipping out at me. And I left the room, and I literally was so upset. And Detox saw me walking out of there and was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't want to start anything." And she was like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Well, he flipped out on me because the zipper broke. And I honestly just zipped it. I didn't do anything." And so at that point, Detox went in there. And 10 minutes later, Willem's out there. And he's like, "I'm sorry. There was probably just a hole, and it ripped, and it was ready to go. And you didn't do it." But he only apologized because he was forced to. So I don't like that. And I didn't like him the rest of the night. Danny didn't like him. I would never book him.
Wow.
I would just to listen to him sing again because I actually love his albums. Like I listen to them all the time.
I love the one that's about lady parts.
Is that the one that he did a lot of the?
It
He
was like
worked
his
with a bunch of other
first
people.
song. It was one of his first songs before he went into the group.
Wait a minute, I know which one you're talking
I
about.
want to be a millionaire so bad,
yes,
but it's
the
not.
spoof of I want to be a millionaire.
Yes, but it's not. I want to be a millionaire.
I want a real blank there. So like and bad.
Yeah, I really like that song. That one's really funny. And I loved all the stuff they did with like Detox and Vicky Vox, though, because those were gold.
Oh, DWV was incredible.
Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously none of them are together again. But so I want to talk a little bit about
Me.
your favorite subject.
It is my favorite subject. Well, my favorite subject is it's a tie between me and food because there are two things. Like it's a toss up. I love food.
You do. This girl, I order like a large pizza and there's none left for anyone else. She's like, that's for me, right?
Do you remember when we used to work together at your salon and I used to order a pizza for myself and then order whatever you wanted from Varia?
Yeah, and you would just eat your whole pizza, and we would all be like, how is she doing that?
Oh my God.
Because we'd eat like one piece and have diarrhea, and here's Ivy eating a whole pizza.
I loved it. It was and it's
Eloquently.
still my favorite. Eloquently. I would fold it so I didn't ruin my lipstick.
So if you're listening on Facebook, please share the video, get us some more views. If you have questions for Ivy, start sending them through the Facebook feed. Caitlin is paying attention to the Facebook. She will shout out questions when they come through if we are not in the middle of a conversation. And if you are just tuning in, you're listening to Life's a Drag. My name is Monique Tusoon. I am joined by Patty and Caitlin and special guest Ivy.
And just remember there's a slight delay. So if she doesn't say your question right away, it doesn't mean she missed it.
Yeah. And if it's not a great question, I'm sorry. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, we'll just laugh at you.
That's subjective. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I want to talk first about you won Miss Gay Massachusetts US of A.
Yes, I did.
And that's huge.
I'm so excited. So I just won the regional in May, and Massachusetts US of A is actually one of the last prelims that lead to nationals. So I did. Oh no, it wasn't in May. It was in April. Excuse me, because I did it the weekend before my sister's wedding, where I had to do all the bridesmaids and the bride and get them ready. So I did it the weekend before her wedding. I won that one. There were 3 contestants: Buffy Hallowell.
Yep.
And Christine.
I do want to give Buffy a shout out because she has improved so much in the past year and a half.
And she's had the worst year.
Lifetime, yes.
Oh my God. I love her, talk to her frequently. We got to hang out a lot when we were at nationals too.
Yeah, I haven't seen a drag queen from the area progress that fast.
You know what it is too, is, and we'll get into that in a minute too, is that going to a national pageant really pushes you to do better than you were doing before because you're competing with other people who are at the top of their game from their whole area. So it's little fish, big pond now. You're no longer a big fish, little pond. So it really does kind of kick you in the butt. And it was so impressive to watch her from her first year at Miss Gay US of A, where she went with Kaya Cristal, and see how she really flipped it and changed the whole game and changed the script when she went back for her second year.
Yeah.
But so Miss Gay Massachusetts is one of the last prelims. I think there are 3 that are on the same weekend because I know Janet Fierce Andrews, who was the current reigning at the time. Janet had been in Georgia, I think, in Atlanta doing their prelim, flew out from Georgia to get to ours, which was on Sunday, and then was flying out Monday morning at she had to leave at 2:00 to be at the airport on time because it's 2 hours from Logan. And then she was flying out there to do another prelim on Monday, which I think was the last prelim of the year.
Wow.
So I won in April on the 13th. I should know that because my sister got married on the 20th. And then flew out, I think, less than 4 weeks to the national pageant.
Which
I placed as second alternate, so 3rd place. And I won Best Solo Talent for live singing.
Ooh.
I won Best Gown in my group for preliminary. And I won Most Beautiful Contestant, which is not an actual scoring category. It's voted on by the judges, so it's a personal vote.
That's a good category to win.
Those are great.
Awesome. And I was floored. I had no idea. All week, all the other girls kept telling me, you're going to win Most Beautiful. You're going to win Most Beautiful. I'm like, no, it's going to be, there was another contestant. Her name was Alize. And she was beautiful, Asian, really soft. You know, Asians just, they put on a little makeup and they're stunning.
Asian men are like the tiniest men in the world, so they make the best women.
Well, and she was so beautiful. She has a beautiful figure, soft face, and I was sure that Alize was taking it. And then I won, and I was floored. And she came up to me afterwards. She goes, "I knew you were going to win." I'm like, "I said you were going to win."
That's funny. Yeah, like I'm totally on like every Asian drag queen puts every other drag queen to shame because they're all tiny and pretty and feminine and.
Anaya makes me so mad because Anaya can put on a face in about a half hour, and I'm like,
she doesn't even need to.
I know, and I'm spending like an hour and a half to get into makeup, and I'm like,
she could throw on some lip gloss and mascara, and people would be like, "You're so pretty." And then she could also poof as long as she does a cartwheel after.
And then the last girl, her name is Destiny Boston, which happened while we were at Boston Pride, and I
Oh.
almost lost it.
So before Jujubee got on Drag Race, Jujubee used to hang out with me and my friend Chris, who is now the DJ at the Breezeway. And she actually, we were daring her to enter the pageant in Boston because she looks so much like Destiny. And we were like, you got to do it. You look just like Destiny. And then she ends up winning. And then she became a regular there at Machine, or it was Axis back then. And now she's this huge Drag Race star. And
Wow.
And she's still touring. She's one of those ones, too, that when you look back at her career, she really took
every advantage.
And she has always been so nice that she constantly gets booked. And she's so much fun to hang out with. But think about it. Season 3, we're on season 12 as of now because we're going into season 12. Plus 3 seasons of All Stars or 4?
4.
No, 4 seasons of All Stars. And she still has an active career. So she really is one of those people that any girl who gets onto Drag Race, if you have questions about how to make longevity in a career, you call Jujubee and you ask her what she's been doing because she knows how to do it.
I think that Drag Race should do a losers season.
I would love that. First of all, I'm obsessed with Pork Chop, so I really want her to come back.
I'm surprised they haven't bought her back for All Stars yet. Like, she's just she probably wouldn't make it more than one episode, but it would be nice to see her again.
Well, because you know how I knew about her? Because I knew about her. Yes, because she was in the documentary Pageant from 2006. So is Alyssa Edwards, and Kennedy Davenport makes an appearance too.
See, I don't even remember the movie enough to remember, but I love Alyssa Edwards.
I watch that DVD whenever I'm getting ready for a pageant. If I'm rhinestoning something, I put Pageant on the background, and then Paris is Burning.
I need to check my phone later to see if I still have Alyssa's phone number, because I've been trying to get her booking information for like 6 months now, and nobody ever calls you back.
Oh, I actually just saw her when I was at Nationals.
Yeah, I think I might have her cell phone. If I know someone else has around here, because she was up here for a couple of nights in a row. And I want to book her, but I'm afraid because now that she has a Netflix documentary that
She might be really expensive.
She's probably a double digit now, like a 10K kind of performer.
Could be.
Ugh. And she's a dancer, which they always charge.
Yeah, but she's worth it though.
She is worth it. I'm not a huge fan of the winner of Miss Gay US of A.
Kennedy. Oh, so for those of you who don't know, who don't follow the pageant system, Kennedy Davenport is the current reigning Miss Gay US of A. Super nice. She reached out to me after the pageant. We talked during the week, and she is really funny. I couldn't take it from her. I couldn't even be mad about it because Kennedy's talent. I don't know
Her
if you
dancing.
Did you watch the video?
No, but she's a dancer. Like, she can slay a stage.
When I tell you that they were doing full gymnastics routines, they threw her in the air and were doing basket tosses. She's twisting. They would throw her up and catch her by her feet and put her into a split. It was amazing. It was incredible. Her gown. Kennedy, if you ever see this, which who knows, if you see this, I liked your first nightgown significantly better than your second nightgown, but I couldn't take that from you either because your second nightgown was stunning.
See, and for me, when I saw her, I was so used to seeing her on Drag Race, and I really didn't like the way she sold herself on Drag Race, but I thought her makeup was kind of odd for the Miss Gay US of A. Like, it looked kind of like Hello Kitty.
I forget who did her makeup. I think it was the same person who did mine for the beginning of the week, because I did my own makeup final night just because I was in a rush and I wanted to get ready at the venue. I think it was Ashley Amon who did her makeup, and she definitely caters to each individual person and tries to stick to your personal makeup. Yeah.
I felt like it was just her eyes were so odd to me. They looked like I felt like she looked like a Hello Kitty.
There was definitely a lot of white and it was very big. So it was kind of anime eyes.
Yeah, animated.
I'm
yeah.
certainly not offended by anime eyes. I try to make mine look as big as possible.
You do look like a blow up doll.
You know what we call that face though in the pageant system? We call it the baby seal face when somebody's had too much fillers and they're just permanently in this face. So it's
That's the
baby seal
Alyssa
face.
Edwards. That's the Alyssa Edwards face.
Her face is relaxed a little bit. When I saw her in person, I was like, oh, she looks so good.
So one cool thing that's going to happen is next year, Ivy and I are going to combine and somehow work out a Miss Gay Nashua pageant.
Yes, we're going to do the Queen of Nashua Pride, keeping with the themes. Boston Pride does their Queen of Pride. I don't think Rhode Island does do one. They do Miss Gay Rhode Island, which I was confused and thought was a prelim to Miss Gay America, but it was not. It's not. It was it's just a pride pageant. So I thought it was really cool, and it would just be a nice opportunity, especially for newer queens, since we really don't have a lot of venues. Really, the only shows in this area are you, because you have one of the largest. Actually, I'm going to take that back. You have the largest show with the biggest audience in New Hampshire
We sell every single show out.
constantly.
Everyone.
My mother is here for anybody listening to this, and she's sitting in the waiting room listening to us. And every time that we have a show, Monique asks me if she's going. And I tell her, well, I told her that the shows were going. I sent her the link to the tickets. She said that she's going to buy some. And then she texts me and she goes, are there still tickets? No, they sold out a week ago. I told you a month ago to buy them, but
Yeah.
she bought 8. So it's fine.
Yeah.
She has tickets for this one.
I'm excited.
So you have the largest show in New Hampshire with a circulation of girls.
And it's not even at a club.
No, it's in restaurants and things, and people still die to see us.
I branded all the drag queens in New Hampshire should not be club queens.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there's no club.
We don't have a club. So what did we do? We took charge of our lives, and now we could perform at freaking Denny's and still sell it out.
Oh, can we though? Because I would love like a moons over my hammy and a milkshake.
She'd walk out with like sausage patties.
Could watch it like a great performance, having a grand slam.
I would eat the Grand Slam as my performance.
Patty needs a grand slam.
All right, calm down.
This is a PG show.
I'm talking about the food. Wink,
right.
wink.
But so you have the largest show in New Hampshire, and you've kept a circulation of girls for, I mean, we've known each other for a decade.
Oh, I know, which
a
is
weird
scary.
thing to think about.
Yeah.
And really, the only other shows in the area would be Portia, Scarlett, and Ima in the Breezeway. And I think maybe they do a show at the Element every now and then. But
Mhm.
in this area of New Hampshire, there really is nothing. So it really is something very commendable to you as a show host to think that you've been able to keep shows alive here after our main circuit.
I wasn't going to let it die, and I wasn't going to let all this talent go to waste either. And one thing I'd like to commend myself on about our shows too is we don't hire filler queens. When you pay for a ticket to my show, you're getting 100% put together professional queens. There is no amateur drag in my shows, and there is nobody that is going to make you look at yourself and be like, what just happened? In a bad
You're not
way.
going to question, like, why am I here? Or
No.
I could watch this anywhere else. Or this isn't Drag Race quality, which they all compare us to.
Yeah. And I would say at least half of my performers that come to our shows are at least better than half the Drag Race girls.
Well, because a lot of the Drag Race girls now are internet performers, so they're not used to
Actual
being on stage.
performers. Yeah.
And even looking at your track record of like what most of us have gone on to do in being in your show, and your shows, especially the 313, gave so many of us our platform, and it got us practice for what we were going to go do afterwards. Myself included. I was Miss Trans New England 2010, Miss Continental New England 2017, Miss Northern Nights 2013, and now Miss Gay Massachusetts, and then placing second alternate.
You're probably going to win Miss Canal Street when you walk out the front door.
Oh, I love it. Well, no, because I'm going to take all of this off and walk out in my sweatshirt. None of you are going to recognize me when I leave. It's fine.
I wash everything off before I walk out the front door.
I brought makeup wipes for that.
Yep, me too.
But you have so many others. Like Mia won the that pageant in Springfield last
Oh,
year.
yeah, Miss Oz, which is a male strip club.
Yeah, Miss
Fully
Oz.
nude.
Oh my god, and it's such a good time. If you've
I've
never
been there a few times.
Oh
yeah.
my god, I love it, and I love when Bryce is performing because he always harasses me a little bit, which I'm okay with.
Is that why you have a mushroom print on your forehead?
You can't see my forehead. It's covered by a wig, but yes. Nicole competed in Puerto Rico and placed in that pageant. Anaya went on to be Miss Boston Pride on top of already being Miss Gay Massachusetts 2015. Layla McQueen
got on Drag Race.
was on RuPaul's Drag Race. So your show has had no shortage of people who have gone on and done bigger things because you gave them that platform to start.
And I thank the club so much every day. When that club closed, I lost a huge part of me. And it was a very depressing couple of months for me.
I cried.
It was 10 years of my life. Every single Saturday night I was on that stage. And not a single one of us started out good.
Oh, God.
We were messy little cacas.
You wore, I would compare it now to blackface, to the color of foundation that you were wearing back in the day.
Yeah, it was so dark. I thought I was so tan.
But your body, your hands especially, it was like defrosted chicken.
Yeah, I seriously. But you know what? And that was before I had friends that would actually help me with my makeup too. Like, I didn't have anyone to give me pointers. Like, because back then, even Anaya, Summer's Eve, none of them know how to do makeup.
Garage door blue eyeshadow, a cream secretary skirt, and a big blonde wig. And you made her perform Party in the USA every week. And she never knew the words. 6 years later, she never knew the words, but she knew exactly where she was going to do a split in that song.
On the way to the club, we'd listen to the song and she'd be like, nope. And then she'd go, yep, right here, split. all the way to the and that I loved her so much because she was literally like a hand puppet for me. Like I'd be like, you should do this song. And she's like, I don't know the words. I'm like, no one cares.
How about the time that she did conga, where she actually led a conga line out of the karaoke room, but didn't know the words, so the majority of her performance was like this.
Oh yeah, she did love to like rub her hands in front of her face when she didn't know where. She's one of my favorite drag queens ever.
And she loves to come up to you and tell you, well, do you remember that one time that I hosted a college show and she didn't do her own makeup, she didn't do her own hair, she did not wear her own costumes. They're all provided by Nicole and Brittany.
She was at our Postoloff show when you weren't there last time.
No, she was just at the last one and I was there.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was hanging out with her
For some reason, I
backstage.
thought you weren't there.
No, I was there.
Yeah, she showed up and it was so sweet to see her. Oh,
She lives in the middle of nowhere.
yeah. All of the drag queens from the three really have gone on to do a lot of good things, and the ones that were, worthy of it.
The headliners. We were the headliners at that club, and I'm not ashamed to say that. So anybody who thinks I'm being cocky, sorry about it. I was booked 3 days a week at that club, so I would say that I was doing something right.
Yeah, and we never had I don't think we ever really had a disappointing show there either. I mean, when we started out, of course, we were amateur and we were a mess and we were sloppy, but we were always having fun and we barely had drama up until
Towards the end.
But there was so much going on backstage that nobody knew about in the end either.
Yeah, and details that were being so misconstrued by so many different parties that really you would get part of the information and it would have been so blown out of proportion that by the time you actually got the real information, it was pointless.
Yeah.
It was over. The club was closed.
No.
So yeah, and then it happened, and then we all kind of like went like, what are we gonna do? And I'm obviously not gonna go work at another club because I'm not gonna work under somebody after working for myself for so long. And then that's when I got reached out to by the first place we went was Margaritas here in Nashua.
Yes. Oh my God.
The Stinky Fish Basement.
I didn't mind the Stinky Fish Basement. That I didn't even notice the smell. The worst to me was tripping over those beams that were in the center because I definitely went home with a bruise on my knee because I tripped over it. And one of my favorites is that my Aunt Pat licked my mother's face because the downstairs guy liked to really load the margaritas with tequila. So Aunt Pat was feeling it, but bless her, she went to work. She works in a hospital. She went to work the next day with a massive hangover, and they all knew it. So this one guy who had like all plates and things went up behind her and dropped them all on purpose right behind her, and she turned around. It was going to deck him.
Oh my God. We went to Margaritas, and then something happened, and they asked us not to come back because somebody graffitied the bathroom there, and it wasn't even us.
It wasn't even a performer. It was somebody who was there who was drunk. In fact, I would call her a Viking of a woman because she was like 6'4". She was quite broad in the shoulders, and she was verbally abusive to all of the queens. And I know that
she almost fought Wendy Ho.
She almost fought my mother.
Mm-hmm.
It was not great.
No. So that was interesting. And then we started doing shows at the Cali Room, and we still do shows there periodically. I've been trying to book shows there, but they're so booked because it's wedding season.
It's wedding season, and they just finished all their remodels, which my sister had her bridal shower at the California Room, and it looks beautiful on the inside.
Yeah, last time we were there, they had just painted it lighter, and the color alone was just spectacular. It was gray.
It looks so clean and new.
Yeah.
And
so we'll be back there probably sometime in the fall. And then we started doing the Postoloft, which makes us sign a year contract at a time. They book us for a full year out.
they love us there.
That Postoloft loves us.
They treat us so well. And they don't even mind that we harass their wait staff, because if there's a man working behind the bar, we all harass them.
Shout out to Perry.
Shout out to Perry, and shout out to Jake from State Farm, even though he doesn't go anymore.
I don't even know what his real name is. I've always called him Jake.
Oh, I did know his real name, but I can't remember it now. I specifically asked him and then found out he was married, so I was less interested.
And his girlfriend was pregnant and serving tables there. Did you remember that?
Yes, I do. Oh, and she was, and I told her I was going to sleep with her boyfriend, and she didn't care. She was like, go for it. I'm tired.
I think most straight women would say that at this point. They're like, okay, I'm done. Bye. But yeah, so we're still having a blast. We're doing shows. We sell out every show. We always tell you guys to come out and check out a show. If you've never been to one of our shows, you gotta come. They are full of talent. And we all try to bring new stuff to every show and new costumes. And they're very elegant.
Eloquent?
Yeah, they're not elegant at all. We're 21 plus. We're uncensored. We are off the charts. I am ridiculous.
I was going to say, speak for yourself, because I wore a gown for my last number, if you recall.
I don't know. I was drunk. What's new? Speaking of drunk, I'll be there at Martha's after party.
And she'll be drunk by the time
June
the late show
29th.
starts.
I will. I'll be because I'll be drinking after the parade.
Well, after the early show, because we don't want protesters knowing that you're drunk.
Last year, the parade was so hot that we ended up all going to Martha's like 2 hours before the show. And we took off everything we were wearing and laid naked on the floor to cool down.
I took my makeup off that day and laid on the floor with nothing else on. I had to borrow a shirt, I think, from Lady Sabrina because I did not think I had to bring clothes.
Yeah, because you didn't have any undergarments or anything.
Nothing.
So yeah, and Lady Sabrina was laying on her chest plate.
I was laying on my hip pads.
I was laying on my butt too. We were all it was wretched hot
It was
last year.
98 degrees with, I think, 20% humidity or something like that. It was
I think we need to bring a cooler or like a kiddie pool filled with ice to stand in every now and then.
Can we just bring a kiddie pool to sit in after the parade is done?
Get our tights all nice and cold.
Well, you know that they do that on Fire Island for their Pride show. I have a couple friends that host on Fire Island. Brenda Darling, she in full drag doing her, because she'll change and she'll do it usually for the late show. In full drag, she will go swan dive into the pool with her pads and whatever on. And I'm like, oh my God, don't they get all moldy and whatever? She goes, no, I wring out my tights and hang them over the edge of the hotel banister. And by tomorrow morning with all the heat, they're dry.
Oh my God. Do you remember when we went to Six Flags with Patty and you got onto like a wet ride and your hip pads got wet and you went to the bathroom and drained them?
I squeezed them out. Yeah. These are not the same hip pads. I can tell you I have replaced them a couple of times.
What I remember, I think that was the first time we met. Was it? I think it was the first time we
You
met.
actually like met for a longer than like a high.
Yeah, we hadn't. It was the first time that we got to spend time together, and I remember that you and Danny were just making fun of somebody's liver spots in the car next to you.
That was that was all. We were playing I Spy with my brown eye, someone's liver spots.
What I remember is we went on that water ride and your makeup was starting to run down your face. Then you took my t-shirt and you went, oh, you don't care how you look. And you wiped your face with it.
Was I wrong?
No.
No. That's so funny though. Caitlin, I feel like you've been so quiet.
I know. Well, I'm reading these questions that are coming in, so I have a couple.
Oh, I love questions.
All right, give us some questions because we only have 9 minutes.
Awesome. So
Really?
Yeah. It goes by so
It flies
fast.
by.
Oh, God.
All right, Ivy. So how old were you when you knew or decided you wanted to do drag?
To do drag. Ooh, I think I was 17 being snuck into the breezeway. No, I was 18, and I know exactly when I started doing it. In fact, it was at one of your shows that I decided that I wanted to do it because I was 18, newly 18, and I went to the 313 for, I think, the first time, and you had booked Naomi Starr.
Yep.
And Naomi Starr, at the time, at the early 2000s, she was the cream of the crop of drag performers. Like, she was an incredible dancer.
Everybody
She was-
wanted her in the show because she was just so killer.
She was amazing. And I saw Naomi Starr, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be on that stage. And then I met my drag mother that very same night. I met her at the bar. It was Des O'Deria, and I thought she was a real woman. I had no idea that she was a drag queen.
She was definitely a feminine man. So yeah.
So soft.
Yep.
And then I was 18, and then they used to sneak me in at cosmetology school, and they convinced me to do the open night. So my friend John put me into full face for the first time, and it was not good. Sorry, John. It was not good. And I did the Kamikaze drag night. And that was when I was hooked, and I started doing drag every week. And then I started doing your competition shows.
When did you end up realizing you were transgendered?
When did I? So I never wanted to be a boy.
Because they are separate things, people that are listening.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, they are separate. They're not so separate that they're not in the same world, but they are not the same thing. The two are not mutually exclusive.
Not every drag queen is transgendered, and not every transgendered person is a drag queen.
Yeah. So I knew that I was trans. I got the word when I was in high school. I was in my sophomore year, and I just didn't feel right. I never wanted to be a boy when I was a kid. I used to tell my mom I want to be a girl. I used to play with Barbie dolls all the time. And I was in high school, and I was on some forum, and someone had shared, I think, Calpurnia Adams' dating show.
Oh my God, I watched that with Danny.
I did too.
Oh my God, it was so cute.
So I think I was watching the Calpurnia Adams thing on some forum online, and that was the first time I saw the term transgendered. So I did research into it. I was like, oh my God, this is literally what I'm feeling. I'm in the wrong body. So I started dressing like a girl. I went to prom in a dress that my mom bought for me that is still in my closet, but it's a size 2, so I'll never fit in that again.
One thing I want to point out too, if you are listening and you do know somebody who is going through this, family is the biggest support you can get. And if your kid is going through something and you can sense it, be there for them.
Oh my God, just love them.
No matter what. Because they're going to love you as long as you love them.
And my parents are like my best friends too. Father's Day is on Sunday. We are still trying to figure out what we're doing with my dad, but I'm getting there at 9 a.m. after I do the Pride thing just because I like spending time with them. My dad and my mom, they go to all of my shows. They constantly ask me. They were both really upset that they couldn't go to Texas just because they couldn't get the time off. But they went the very first year I went to Chicago for Miss Continental.
Nice. Yeah. And not everyone out there has a support system. And if you are struggling and you don't have a support system, feel free to reach out to any one of us and we will help find you a safe place.
Absolutely. And, come to the show, talk to us, tell us that if you need help finding a wig store because you're growing your hair out, we know plenty of them. If you need someone to help you learn how to do makeup, don't go to Sephora. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all my friends who work at Sephora. Don't go to Sephora. I've had nothing but rude interactions with people when I go in without makeup on, and I just want to look at them and go, I know more than you.
I will say one thing. So last year, Nashua Pride largely was solely started because of a drag queen named Layla Farina, who was a high school student. And this year she was asking if there was any one of us that could do her makeup. And I said, Pride's a very large day and we're all very busy. But I ended up calling Tim from MAC and he's going to put her drag makeup on for her that morning.
I love that.
So he's going to do her makeup at the mall and she's going to be a superstar because he's just a killer makeup artist. So shout out to Tim Buckwaldy and BW Beauty.
Yes.
Like them on Facebook. They are wonderful, wonderful people. We are getting very close to the end of the show. So do we have any more questions? I would like another question.
Yes. This is another question. Would you rather have to work with Mimi First or Madame
LaQueer?
Yes.
Oh, Madame LaQueer.
We've actually worked with her.
And she was so much fun backstage. I would work with her again in a second.
Yeah. Madame LaQueer was hysterical.
And there's that Adele number, a good park and bark in the middle of the stage. I loved it.
And she was so much fun at the airport diner in Manchester.
So much fun.
Yep. And then Mimi First just tried to book me like a month ago to do a drag brunch with her in Connecticut.
Why didn't you?
Because it's so far away and I'm so
You could have stayed with Mia.
I know, but I'm getting so lazy about doing shows now because I'm really trying to concentrate on branding now and selling the radio because I really think there's something out there in radio for drag. And I think this is a platform in order to help people.
Yeah.
And I love doing the shows, but I'm so tired because I do so much.
Well, you're a business owner, you're a parent, you're a stylist, and you're a radio host and a performer. You're a Jill of all trades.
A Jill of all trades. I love that. So stupid.
Speaking of branding and plugging, I'm going to make a quick plug real quick.
Sure.
For those of you who are on social media, you can find me on Facebook at Ivy League-Oderia. My stage name is Ivy League, but my drag mother is Des Oderia, and Facebook won't let me just be Ivy League on Facebook because, name whatever. I'm also on Twitter at Ivy L. Oderia, and Instagram is at Miss Ivy League. It's really easy to spell, I swear. Just look it up.
It's Ivy League like Ivy League school.
Just like the schools.
Yeah.
Which is the joke because I went to cosmetology school and I couldn't get into the college that I wanted to. And then the other one that I want to plug is that I am now operating the Miss Gay Massachusetts US of A Instagram page. So go ahead and give them a follow. Go to my page and you'll find them, or it's MGM.
It's confusing.
Now I got to look at it.
Yeah, look it up.
It's only been active for a week, so I never remember what it is.
And I was trying to find it today and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, so I just stopped.
Right here. So it's MG Mass US of A.
MG Mass US of A.
Yep, MG Mass US of A.
Don't have Patty repeat it. She used to botch the phone number here.
That's only numbers. I'm just bad with numbers.
But you can see it all over my Facebook. And I wanted to bring Miss Gay Massachusetts into the 21st century. They have a Facebook page, which I'm also going to be joining as an admin. And I want to get more people involved. And if you're thinking about doing pageantry, give me a call. We'll get you set up. We want to get a bunch of great competitors this year to get new experiences at Miss Gay US of A.
Wow.
Great.
So quick tonight.
Yeah.
And if you
Went by
are
fast.
interested in performing in one of my shows and you think you got what it takes, just send me a message. I stalk you on your Instagram, your Facebook. I watch videos. And if I think you got what it takes, I'm going to throw something your way. Thank you, Caitlin, for being here.
Of course.
You were a little quiet. We're going to do a show one time that's just all about Caitlin because we need to learn a lot about you because you're a very interesting character and my favorite work relative because we have so much fun. We're stupid. And thank you, Patty, for being here as my co-host every single week at Life's Drag. And thank you, Miss Ivy League. And we'll be having you back.
I would love that. I can't wait.
And thank you to all our listeners. Please share on Facebook. Like us on Facebook at Life's a Drag. And you're going to see a lot more coming from us. Thank you all and have a great night.
Good night.
Bye.